Hi everybody, it's Frederick here. I'm gonna just kind of slow things down a little bit here. I want to read you a story. Um, I randomly picked a book off the bookshelf, and I have not read the story. I did grab it, I know the book here, but I've never read the stories in here. And so we're gonna go on a little story time adventure. And I read the first paragraph, and so now I want to read you the whole story. And just sit back, relax, and let's go to story time, okay? All right. The story's called Into the Presence. Into His Presence. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. A long time ago, in a land much like your own, there was a village. And in this village lived 5 orphans, a lonely family without a father. These children, they banded together against the cold. One day a king learned of their misfortune, and he decided to adopt them. He agreed that he would be their father and planned to come get them. All the people in the land thought it was pretty odd that the king would adopt these children. I mean, he already had many people to take care of. Why does the king want them? The people would ask. But the king had his reasons. When the children learned that they had a new father, and their father was the king, no less, and the king was coming to visit, they went wild with excitement. And when the people of the village learned that the children had a father, and their father was the king, and that the king was coming to the village, they got terribly excited as well. They went out to see the children and told them what to do. Okay, kids, listen up. You need to really impress the king. Only those with great gifts to give will be allowed to live in the castle. You see, the people didn't know their king. They didn't know this king. They assumed that all kings wanted to be impressed. So the children worked long and hard preparing their gift offerings. One boy, he knew how to carve with wood, and he was determined to give the king a wonderful work of wooden art. He put his knife against the skin of the oak tree, and the small block of wood came alive with the eyes of a sparrow or the nose of a unicorn. Now, his sister decided to present the king with a painting that captured the beauty of the heavens, a painting worthy of the king's castle. Now, there was another sister, and she chose music as her way to present a gift to the king. Long hours she practiced on the piano and singing and the violin. The village people would actually stop by her window and listen to her music as it seemed to grow wings and fly. Now, there was another child, and this child decided that she was going to turn the king's head and impress him with wisdom. Now, this young man, late hours into the night, you would find his candle lit and his books were open, and he studied geography and mathematics and chemistry and science. I mean, his study, nobody could match how much this young man studied. Surely a king as wise as this would appreciate all his hard work. And now there was this little girl. The little girl, she had nothing to offer. Her hands were clumsy with the knife, and she couldn't paint very well. She would try to sing, but it would, she couldn't sing at all, you know? And she wasn't that smart. She couldn't even read that well. She didn't have any talents. She didn't have a gift. But all she had to offer this great king was her heart. her heart was good. She spent her time at the city gates, waiting and watching the people come and go. She would make pennies. I'm telling you, pennies. She'd make pennies by brushing their horses and cleaning their hooves and feeding the animals. And as a little stable girl, she didn't even have a stable, but she had a good heart. She knew all the homeless people. She knew the beggars by name. And you know what? She would take time to pet each dog. Some of them had cats, and she would pet their cats. She welcomed all the homeless people, new people in town, all the travelers. She even greeted complete strangers with her beautiful smile. "How was the journey?" she would ask them. "Tell me what you learned when you were away on your holidays." And she would even ask the older people, "How was your husband? How's your wife? Do you enjoy your new job?" She was interested in these people. She was full of questions for them because her heart was big and she cared about people. But since she had no talent and no gift, she started to get anxious that the king was going to be angry at her. The villagers, they told her that the king would want a gift and that she better get busy and she better start making a gift for the king. So she took her small little knife and she went to her brother, and he was a carver. "Can you teach me to carve, brother?" "Sorry," he said. "I've got too much work to do. I don't have time for you. The king's coming, you know." And the girl put away her knife and she picked up her paintbrush and she went to her sister, who was the artist. And she found her sister was out on a hill painting this beautiful sunset. And she said, "Oh, sister, you paint beautifully." "I know," her sister said. "Can you please share your gift with me?" "Not now," the sister said, "because the king is coming, you know, and I have to get ready and I have to get this gift, this painting, ready for the king." Now, this girl who had no gift but a big heart, she remembered the other sister, the one with the music, with the song. "She will help me," she said. But when she got to that sister's house, she found so many people wanting to listen to her sister sing, and she was getting through the crowd. She said, "Sister, sister, I've come to listen to you and to learn music." And her sister couldn't hear because the crowd was too loud. Now this girl's heart was feeling heavy. She was getting sad. And what happened is that she remembered her other brother, the one with the small words and the big letters, and she went to see him. "I have nothing to offer my king, brother. Can you teach me to read so I can learn science and geography and history and share my wisdom with the king?" But the young brother, he didn't speak. He was too caught up in his books. He was thinking too hard. So this little girl with no gift, she spoke again. "Can you help me, please? I don't have any talents. I don't have a gift." "Go away," said the scholar, just barely even looking up from his book. "Can't you see I'm preparing myself for the king that's coming?" And so the little girl went away sorrowfully and sad. She had nothing to give. And she returned to her place at the city gates and started taking care of the people's animals again, petting them, asking people how they were doing. And one day this businessman came all dressed up, came into this little town, and he said, "Can you feed my donkey?" That would be just like saying, "Hey, can you wash my car?" And so when the guy said, "Can you feed my donkey?" the little girl jumped up to her feet and she looked into the brown face of this man who traveled so far. His skin was dark and leathery from the sun. His eyes were wide and deep, but he had this kind smile from beneath. And he had a beard on and he was smiling. And it made the girl feel really good. "Yes, I can," the little girl said eagerly. And she took the donkey, she took the animal and fed him. "Trust him with me," she said. "And when you return, he will be all combed and brushed and cleaned up and fed." "Tell me," The little girl said, "How long are you going to stay?" And he said, "Only for a little while." "Are you tired from your journey?" "Yes, I am." "Would you like to sit here and rest?" The little girl said, "Come sit by the bench by the wall." And this tall man with dark skin sat on the bench, and he leaned against the wall, and he closed his eyes, and he went to sleep. After a few minutes he opened them, and he found the little girl sitting at his feet, looking up into his beard and his bright eyes and his beautiful face. She was embarrassed because she got caught staring at him. So she looked away. "Have you sat there long?" "Yeah." "What are you looking for?" "Nothing. You just seem to be a kind man with a peaceful heart, and it's good to be close to you." And the man smiled, and he stroked his beard, and he said, "You are a wise little girl," he said. "When I return, we will visit more." And the man did return quite soon. "Did you find who you were looking for?" the girl asked. "I found them, but they were too busy for me." "What do you mean?" "Those that I came to see were too busy to see me. One was with the wood carvers rushing to complete some project. He told me to return tomorrow. Another was an artist. I saw her sitting on the hillside painting the sunset, but the people said that she didn't want to be disturbed. And then I was looking for a musician, and I sat with everybody else and listened to her music, but when I went to talk to her, she had no time for me. And the other one that I looked for had left. He moved to some city to go to university or something like that." And the little girl's eyes widened. "But you don't look like a king," she said. "I try not to," he explained. "Being a king can be a lonely thing. People act strange around me. They ask for favors. They try to impress me. They bring me all their complaints." "But isn't that what a king's for?" the little girl asked. "Well, yeah, certainly. But there are times I just want to be with my people. There are times when I want to talk to my people, to hear about their day and to laugh and to cry a little bit. And there are times I just want to be their father." "Is that why you adopted the children?" "That's why. Children like to talk. Adults think they have to impress me. Children don't. They just want to talk to me." "But my brothers and sisters were too busy, weren't they?" "Yes, they were. But I'll come back. Maybe they'll have more time another day. Would you like to ride on my donkey to the castle?" And so it happened that the children with many talents, but no time, missed the visit of the king. And while the little girl, whose only gift was her time to talk, became his child.